Alrighty, let's get into it. My name is Chris, also known as Bubby, owner of One Stop Kicks. Big OSK. I'm not really known for selling shoes. I'm known for doing dumb shit, like buying the wrong drink and then throwing it. Yeah. So in this video, I just wanted to go over some do's and don'ts of having a shoe store, answer some questions that I've had. I get a lot of questions. I know a lot of people are thinking about opening up a shoe store in 2022. A lot of younger resellers still in high school get into it and basically just talk about the process and everything that comes along with the shoes, having a shoe store.
So the first question is, how did you get into reselling?
I basically got into reselling how a lot of people got into reselling, just like as a younger kid, having shoes and just wanting shoes that I maybe couldn't get and like other people had it. So I got into trading for my personal size and basically just finessing everybody out their shoes. So, you know, you gotta come out on top of that. I started reselling like around like the time of like LeBron 9s, LeBron 10s. Like LeBron 10s like one of my favorite shoes ever. So basically that's how I got into it. And then high school, I didn't do too much reselling because I really didn't care that much about sneakers. So I was wearing like Huaraches, Prestos, just comfortable, calm stuff. I wear sweats and sweats every day. So then after high school, I went to college. I wasn't really selling sneakers in college. I remember like that was my first cash. I did like $600 cash out. And that's all I did for that. And then the year after that, that's when COVID hit. So then when COVID hit, I started reselling heavy not even reselling heavy. I was reselling on Snapchat, just doing like a few pairs a week, that's it. And then I got into somebody hit me up on Snapchat, maybe said like shout out for shout out. And like after that, Snapchat just started booming. People wanted more shoes than what I could handle. So I really had to get to it, do more cash outs, let people know like I'm a serious buyer. Like before it was just like a hobby. So I was like, let's run with it. And that's just how it turned into this.
Where were you selling shoes before the store?
Before the store, like I said, I was selling shoes on Snapchat most of the time. I'm still on Snapchat. Like I stand by Snapchat over Instagram all day. Just cause like, I think the thing is with Snapchat is people, like it gets put in their face more than Instagram. Like people have to go on Instagram and click on your story, but on Snapchat, they're clicking through stories all day. So like, and they just end up buying shoes. So before this, I was selling on Snapchat, Instagram, but mostly Snapchat. Like I'm still on Snapchat.
How did you get the idea to open up a store?
So basically forever up until a month before I opened up the shoe store, I was 100% against having a shoe store. Like it's just a responsibility and it costs money. And I just thought it was dumb because you could sell way more shoes online. And like, no matter what, it's always gonna be like, unless you're in like Miami or a big city, you're gonna be selling more shoes online. I got the idea to have a shoe store is because in Cornell, it's the college here, it's an Ivy League college in Ithaca. And I just seen like a small spot and it just like got my mind going. And it was like literally just like the size of the front of my store now. And it just got my mind going and I ended up calling the number and like that's who I ended up running from, that number, but a different spot because I went up in Cornell and they were talking like ridiculous amount of rent for a small space that isn't even better than what I have now. And that's just how it happened and I just got the store up and running in less than a month and that's it.
The next question is, how did you get enough pairs and capital to open a store?
I had a plan to start a website and like the website idea just kind of like got clipped and like I just started selling on Snapchat and I just got right back to Snapchat. So really the reason why I had so many pairs was because I was buying and to plan to open up a website. So I probably had like 200 and something pairs to start out with. And a lot of the capital came from running story sales because what I was doing was stacking the new pairs and selling all the used pairs. So I was doing like probably 30 pair story sales every 2 weeks, 30 to 40 pair story sales every 2 weeks. So that was like a big part of how I built enough money to keep reinvesting to get the new pairs.
Next question is, how did you find the right space to open up a sneaker store?
So like I said, I was in Cornell looking. He actually took me here first because he already knew Cornell was not a good idea. So like he was like pretty helpful with it. Like he knew where I was gonna succeed and like what it would have been like in Cornell. So I went to Cornell. After coming here, I went here and a few places like on the direct commons. And they just weren't like, they needed work. And this place, all I did in here was paint. So like they might've been better spots, but they needed a lot of work. So it took longer to start up, more money to start up. And he took me to Cornell, ridiculous amount of rent, small spaces. And the thing about being in the college town is they're only there for 2 semesters, and then they're gone for the summer, gone for the winter break. So it's just like, it ended up making more sense to be down here.
Alright, so what was the process like to get the store up and running?
The process of getting the store up and running was really not that bad. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I know a lot of people would be scared of finding the spot's too much, business filings, getting an LLC, signing leases. Like, it really wasn't even as bad as you would think. I had my LLC already. I got that from LegalZoom for like $600, $700. And then, yeah, I just met up with the guy. He got me into the right space. I needed a co-sign because of how young I am. So I needed another person to sign on the lease. The process, we just painted, basically, got some shelving up, windows, some signs on the window, racks up, refrigerator, some racks for inventory, and a front desk, and that was it. And yeah, we got open.
All right, next question is, what type of payment do you accept? And have you ever ran into any fraud issues?
This is my favorite question on the thing, because this is something I wish I knew coming into this. So for payment, I went with Square because it's just the most commonly used and like user friendly, and I guess like the fees aren't that bad. So I went with Square. It was all fine. Like, I got all my money from every single, at the end of the day, they pay you whatever you got for the day. So they did that. That was all fine. So Square is definitely good. But the one thing I ran into is people doing chargebacks. So like, I don't know who the people are or what happened or whatever. But like, a few people came in and they either used the card manually or like I don't even know. I don't know anything about that. But basically, they called their bank and said that they didn't make the purchase, or maybe it really wasn't them who made the purchase. I have no clue what happened. So basically that happened, and I basically gave away Chunky Dunkies and Off-White Dunks for free. So that was an L. And called the bank, got the charge back. They won the charge back. I like disputed it, but I don't think I'm gonna get that back. So that was definitely an L. And I have business insurance. I should touch on that in this video. You definitely want business insurance for anything, any possibilities, someone coming in your store, breaking in, or just any liabilities. So you definitely want business insurance, but they didn't cover that because they said something about I willingly gave away the product. So I don't know. There was nothing I could do about that.
Next question is, how did the community react to you getting a new store in Ithaca?
The community reaction has actually been great. Like, people come in and just say, like, even if they're not coming in to buy something, they're just happy to have a shoe store where they know if they need something, they can come get Jordans, Yeezys, Dunks, like things that you just can't find. We don't even have a Foot Locker in Ithaca, so a lot of people were just happy that I'm here. A lot of people came and said congratulations and just showed love. A lot of people came and bought shoes on the first day. First day, I did over 10K in sales, so that was a really good first day. Starting a shoe store is definitely expensive, like all the little things, like a desk, your sign, putting up shelves, all that stuff is like, everything is, that's one of the more things that were harder than I would have thought. Like, it's more expensive and stuff like that. So like my first day, definitely people showed a lot of love. The community reaction has definitely been great.
Next question is, how do you keep your shelves full?
Coming into this, I already knew that would be a challenge. Like I said, the first day, I sold over 30 pairs. So like, if you look at the wall, you know, like at most there's 150 pairs or 200 pairs on the wall. Having a store made me more like solidified in the shoe world. So a lot of people have been more open to running GUA. So that helps with buying because you can't trust anybody. That has helped me buy more pairs, and I've built relationships with like 4 or 5 resellers that I constantly buy from. Like, even 2 to 3 pairs a week is good when you got 5 people and then you got new people coming in, selling new pairs. I was open to starting a shoe store because I knew a lot of people would be bringing me in pairs to the shoe store when they didn't even know I existed before. So on average, I say I probably buy like 10 pairs in store a week. So that's always good when you're buying 15 to 20 pairs online, 30 pairs a week. That's pretty decent. Go to an event, buy maybe 10, 15 pairs. Like, I know people go cash out hundreds, but like, I don't know, like, they be taxing at those events, so I don't really go too crazy. I'll find like 10 to 15 decent prices and I'm paying good. So like, yeah, paying better in store. Now that I have a store, I pay a little bit better, so that helps.
All right, next question is, how do you deal with legit checking sneakers, and have you ever ran into any fakes?
There's fakes everywhere in today's game. That's a big part of the reason why I do GUA, because someone might be legit and not even know that their shoes are fake, because like fakes are getting so good. And I'm not, people hit me up every day asking to legit check sneakers over the phone. That's hard to do, like with just pictures. And I'm not even like the craziest legit checker ever. I'm not a genius. I gotta look some shit up, look some things up, do some checks. Checks isn't always 100% legit, but it definitely helps, like just for a start. Like if they say that they're fake, I'm not even dealing with them because something must be off. But obviously I do my own legit check. So I've definitely had people came in here trying to sell me fake bred Yeezys, fake J Balvin's, fake Off-White 1 Chicago's before Virgil died. He was trying to get 2,500 or something like that. That's like, I don't even know how much they cost, at least 10,000, so probably more than that. So that would have been a come up if they weren't fake, but they were definitely fake. They were like a mid-level fake. They weren't, definitely not one-to-one, but they were decent. So yeah, I've definitely had a lot of people come in here trying to sell me fakes, a lot of fakes. I've got fakes in the mail G-Way, like I said, people don't even know. Travis Scott 4s fake, the blue ones. Travis Scott, something else, and Uni Blue ones fake. So that's a big part of why I do G-Way, because people don't even know what they're doing. They don't even care to check, or they just don't know. Like, that's all right. So yeah, I've definitely ran into people trying to sell me fakes, but for the most part, I usually catch it. I haven't took too many L's with that.
How do you use social media to create more business and to brand OSK?
This is how, right here, you gotta be on here all day. I'm on my phone 24/7. So like I said, Snapchat, the biggest platform for me. I actually lost my Snapchat recently with like 7,000 subscribers, 2,500 views. So that was definitely a big L. I post a lot of sneakers up for sale. I post other people's sneakers up for sale, like 2 or 3 people that I trust that I know will get the people their shoes. And yeah, Instagram, I've definitely been, since opening the store, I've definitely been more active on Instagram. I post like whenever I get a new nice sneaker, like some Off-Whites or Travis Scott's, or when I get a bulk order of shoes, like 5+ pairs, Taxi 12s. I had the patent bred ones I posted up on there. But like for the most part, I just post the shoes on Instagram so people have something to look at, like what they know coming into the store. But I don't do too much selling on Instagram. I do mostly selling in store and on Snapchat.
So tell us what the revenue and profits is like, and what are the bills like for running a business?
My bills in Ithaca, like Ithaca has high rent. I don't know about like compared to other places business wise, but I know like housing is very expensive here, like ridiculous amounts. But for me, it's definitely manageable. Coming into this, you definitely want to be worried about how much your bills are, like total, like electric, Wi-Fi, cable, your rent, and like just other dumb stuff like camera subscriptions, small stuff like that, Square subscriptions or whatever payment you use. So you definitely want to make a list of your bills before you come into this and know what's going to happen. And as far as revenue goes, revenue at first was definitely more than what it is now, like in store wise. But at first I took a step away from selling online and focused on selling in stores. So now that business is slow, I took a step away from this and I'm selling way more online. So that's definitely something you got to be flexible on what you could do. And you definitely want to have an online following to back you up in the months where it's slow.
All right, next question is, I know there's a lot of people wondering, but is it worth opening up a shoe store in 2022?
So that's like the question. That's the question that I ask myself on slow days or when it's busting. Like I'm like, damn, this shit is really lit. If you have the inventory to keep up with it, you're gonna do well. If you have the inventory and customers, online customers, and you're already solidified, the store is gonna solidify you more online. So you're gonna get more sales online just because you have a store for whatever reason, even no matter how legit you were before. So opening a shoe store, if you have the online clientele, you're gonna have, I can't say this for every city, but you're most likely gonna have the in-store clientele if you're always good business. So for me, I would say it's definitely been worth it. Like the bills are like, I'm not gonna say my bills because our bills are gonna be different regardless of what I say, but like the bills, if you're not making sales, your bills are gonna be tough. But if you're making in-store sales, yeah, like the thing about having a store is you get to add on that extra $50 because they're getting it fast, in person, same day. They get the interaction with people, they get to feel the shoes in their hand. So like that's the thing about having a store, you get to add on that extra $40, $50, $60. So you sell 20 pairs, for that extra 50 on top, that's already your rent. So all you have to do is sell 20 pairs with the added 50 then that you would have done online. So let's say you're selling it for 250 online, you throw it on there for 300 in store on the wall. People come in there. That's the thing about having a store. When strangers come in, they won't question your pricing. But like online or just before having a store, a lot of your friends or people you've done business with or online, they know the prices, so they're bargaining with you and stuff. So like that's the nice part about having a store. We died. All right, like I was saying, just having people come in and pay your price without trying to bargain with you, come in here, pay the price plus the tax, like that's like a beautiful thing. Like that's when it's like worth it. When you get 4 people in a day that come pay that full price with your added whatever in there, that's when like having a store becomes worth it. Having a store solidifies you, just like online too. It makes people feel more comfortable buying off you. Yeah, that's when having a store becomes worth it. And like once you build up your clientele, I could see things like definitely going up from where it's at now, like in store wise, like you're their plug, you're who they keep coming back to. Like it's like with anything, like you're the person they keep coming back to. They're done shopping online, done with StockX. And like those people, you throw them better deals and like stay loyal to them, they're gonna stay loyal to you.
Do you have any random tips for the people out there watching?
I'll definitely, the one thing I always stand on is like, definitely always make sure every single buying and selling experience goes smooth for the customer or the person selling to you. Like definitely be the best business you can. Like even when you're selling something, if someone complains like, oh, you didn't show me this, so what do you want to do? You want to send it back? Or you want a partial refund, or we could do whatever's fair. Like always make sure the customer is taken care of. Like that's the number one thing about this. Like I don't do refunds, but like if I obviously know you didn't put the shoe on your feet and you walked out of here and then your kid said, oh, this isn't even the right size, or your significant other said this isn't the right size, like I'm gonna get you right. Say you could pick something off the wall, and if it comes down to it, I'll either sell the pair for you over again, or I'll just give you the refund if I know it's an easy sale. So like it's just small things like that. That's a big part of being successful online, or if you open up a store, you always want to make sure the customer gets taken care of.
So the next question is, do you see a lot of returning customers, or do you see a lot of new faces that come to the store?
I definitely see a lot of new faces walk in. Like a lot of people come to my store just because like you see this wall, you see the lights, and like if you like sneakers, you're gonna come in and look like you're seeing crazy sneakers. A lot of people come in and look at the bottom of the price tag, and they're like, I would love to buy these, but if you don't really like a sneaker, you shouldn't be paying $400, $500, $360. Like I only buy what I really absolutely need. Like some people just buy it just because they can. They have the $400, but basically a lot of new people come in, and a lot of new people, more than I would have thought, have bought pairs, and a lot of them have came back. Like a lot of my main customers I've never sold shoes to before are like family friends, like my dad's friends, like people like that coming in. So like a lot of them are like every 2-week customers, so that's definitely been good. But it's definitely been a lot of returning customers, more than you would think, and a lot more new customers, people that I've never seen before coming in here, just showing love, buying a hoodie or whatever it may be. People came in and bought my slides that were left over from the summer. I only had like a few pairs left, but a lot of like inquiries about when are you getting this size, da, da, da. So this spring with new clothing should definitely be valid in store.
The next question is, how do you feel about opening up a store with a partner or a couple partners?
Me personally, I recommend doing it solo if you can, but if you can't, definitely make sure your partner is like a solid person, not gonna do sneaky stuff, not gonna do bad business to ruin your reputation. And definitely make sure that you like even out the workloads. Like if someone's, let's say, running the Instagram account or running ads or cleaning the store, like definitely make sure that you have that like rules in place of what's going on, who has more pairs, who's doing what. And me personally, I'd like to keep the money separate, because like when it comes to that, like one person is always gonna do more than the other person. So I would definitely do it by your pairs instead of going into a business, a bank account, and buying the shoes together. I would say you buy your pairs, you buy your pairs, to just get rid of any confusion and stuff like that. And then have the payouts. Like obviously you can't do more than one payment method. Like you can't have 2 squares running, or you can, but I would definitely have it set up so you have everything written down, maybe a contract, even agreement of what's going on. But for the most part, I say go do it by yourself if you can, if you have the capital. And it's just gonna be way more smooth if you run it by yourself, no confusion. People are better at one thing than another, and lift each other up in wherever you lack. To wrap this video up, I just wanna go over some key points of opening up a shoe store. One being picking the right location. We already went over this, but like you definitely wanna pick the right location, whether it be the right city or the right spot in the city or whatever. Like you're gonna have to do your own research on your own city, but that's definitely something you wanna 100% look into. Top of your list when you're starting out, top of your list, picking the right location. And then another thing is making sure your inventory is already right to start. So coming into it, you definitely wanna have at least 150 pairs no matter where you are. I had more personally, but I can't see you doing anything with less than 100 pairs, like minimum 100. A nice spot would probably be anywhere between 150 and like 150 to 300, 500, however much you could handle personally. And touch on that, you don't want to go so much into your inventory where you run out of money. Like I said, opening up the store, I ran into some expenses. I ran up my credit card, definitely messed up my credit a little bit. But damn, why is shit hitting me right now? And another thing to go on that is don't go so crazy buying inventory to the point where you have no money left to do other things like just random expenses like I talked about at the beginning of the video, buying a couch, buying a desk, buying cases, shelves, everything. That stuff is definitely gonna be expensive. So like a rough estimate of what you wanna have, like just capital, no shoes aside, capital, I'd say you wanna have 10 to 15,000 for rent, everything just in a bank account ready to go for your shoe store. And then inventory wise, I'd say you'd want to have at least 40 to 50,000 in inventory. The next thing that is very important, but people might not be focused on because you're just so excited to get things going, is like things like business insurance, cameras, security systems, stuff like that. Like you definitely need that. Like no matter what, just because you have business insurance doesn't mean you don't get security, don't get cameras. Like you don't want to get into a situation like that. I don't even have to talk on it. It happens a lot in the community. People already know what's going on. Stores getting robbed, vandalized, whatever. So you definitely do everything you can, no matter how much it may cost. Like it won't get too crazy, but like you definitely want to invest in taking the right measurements to not have something like that happen, or if it does happen, you're ready. The last thing I want to talk about is like dealing with hate. Like I got a lot of good reactions from the city and stuff like that, but like other people in your town, I don't know what type of town you live in, you might be dealing with hate, or you might deal with hate online. Like you can't really respond to stuff like that. Like anything negative, you just want to let it, like unless it's coming at your reputation, you just want to leave it where it is, let them be mad about whatever they're mad about, and just keep going. Like even if you're an online reseller right now, like you definitely don't want to I try my best, sometimes it's hard, but you don't want to be going back and forth with goofballs like scammers and stuff. Like you just want to leave them where they're at and do what you can to make sure your business is good. Thanks again for watching. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck up out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Thinking about starting sneaker stores, so I just want to answer some questions on maybe some dues that I don't know. I just wanted to answer some questions on that I've been asked, and like questions. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. What I'm talking about? What I'm asking questions about, or what am I doing? And we met up with the. You got me fucking up on this shit, man.
My bad.
It's been like. So like, I don't even know, let me start that over again too. I'm gonna start that over. Pay your rent after what? Let's say your rent is $1,000. You sell 50, what the fuck, how the fuck the math on that? It's like scammers and stuff, like you just wanna leave them where they're at and do what you can to make sure your business is good. And that's it, closing up the video. Definitely don't put that in there, cut it out earlier.